holiday break, Notre Dame returned to the ice last night with a dominant 5-1 victory in Game 1 against Augustana. Tonight, they go for the sweep in the final contest of 2023. And so we say hello and welcome you inside the broadcast booth alongside the 14-year NHL man, Steve Conroy, Tony Simeone. So happy to have you with us and happy to have you as we ring in the new year. Last night, Steve, we talked about Notre Dame needing more scoring from someone other than Landon Slaggart, and boy, they got that from two guys they've been looking for offense from, Trevor Janicki and Cole Knuble.
And two guys who've known to score in the past. Cole Knuble had 30 goals last year with the Fargo Force in the USHL, so you know he knows how to put the puck in the net. He's known for a shot. Here he is, Paul Fisher, with a great pass through the seam, and that shot from range finds a hole. And then the turning point in the hockey game, really good forecheck here by Cole Knuble. He buries it. That really changed the complexion of the game. And yeah, the power play had been struggling, but he gets it going with the hat trick goal. That his third of the night. And then Trevor Janicki, another guy who last year led the team in goal scoring, gets the first goal of the game, the all-important first goal of the game, standing in front of the net, and then in the third period to put an exclamation point in it, yeah, he scores again. So when you get your third and fourth and fifth forward scoring goals, it certainly helps.
On the other side for Augustana, we talked coming into this one how they needed more scoring really up and down the lineup. Luke Mobley was the guy that we featured in the open, and I thought he really lived up to the hype coming into the game. He got the only goal and was a really consistent offensive piece for them.
I agree, Tony. He was noticeable every time he was on the ice. Part of the reason is he's 6'3", 210 pounds, but he really commands a lot of attention. We know he's a goal scorer. He played at Clarkson for a couple of years, not really given the opportunity, but he's given an opportunity here, and he's making the most of it. They're parking himself in front of the net on the power play, just jumping on a loose puck. Had an excellent opportunity a little later on in the game, basically the same area, right in front of the net. And yes, he had a breakaway, an opportunity to score. Unfortunately, Ryan Bischel came up with a big save there. So, yeah, a big man who makes some big plays for Augustana.
There are only a few hours left in 2023, but there's just enough time to squeeze in one more hockey game. It's the Irish and the Vikings coming up next. It's the final game of 2023, the final non-conference game for Notre Dame before Big Ten play the rest of the way. Ryan Bischel looked like himself last night. Stopped all but one. He's now second in the country in save percentage at .932. He is so consistent for Notre Dame. On the other side, Zach Rose gets the start. Last night it was Caden Hargraves, the freshman. Rose, the transfer, Steve, from Bowling Green, has had an up and down year for Augustana. Somebody's got to own the net for the Vikings here in the second half of the year.
Yeah, he had a real big series against Bowling Green, as you mentioned, a former team that he played for. He swept them with a .958 save percentage over those two games. So should be a good goaltending duel in this hockey game tonight.
Yeah, he played at Bowling Green from 2019 to 2023 as this puck is iced early. 6th all time at Bowling Green in goals allowed, but in his last 5 games, 4 of them he's allowed 3 goals or more. Of course, Hargraves came in that series before the break, then played last night. Looked sharp, but let 5 get by him. This is a chance for Rose to maybe earn the job back.
Yeah, win the net back. Hargraves was fantastic for 3/4 of the game, and it's certainly, you don't hang the 5 goals on him, but I remember talking to Coach Nelson, and he said, you know what, we've got 3 goalies very capable of playing. What that tells me is he's looking for somebody to just grab the net.
And Taylor Nelson, the acting head coach, as Garrett Raboin, the full-time head coach, is with Team USA at World Juniors. He, of course, is a netminder himself, so you figure he's got a good pulse for that goaltending room, and who needs to go tonight in Game 2 to get the Vikings back on track. Notre Dame won last night in Game 1 by a 5-1 final as Patrick Moynihan has a quick shot on Rose, and he's able to make an early first stop.
Wow, great work down deep. I believe it was Cole Knuble who comes up with a loose puck. Of course, Cole had that hat trick last night, so he's feeling some confidence. Great pass out to Moynihan, and a bang-bang play. Excellent first shot. Yeah, Cole Knuble, see him check his shoulder. He knew exactly where Moynihan was. What a pass on the backhand, the shot, and a great first save for Zach Rose.
Wow, Rose came in. You saw his numbers, 3.3 goals allowed. Save percentage just a shade above 90% at 90.5. Makes a huge stop here. It was Hargraves who had to make still 33 saves last night while allowing 5 goals get by him. Notre Dame outshot Augustana 38-20. It was a pretty lopsided affair when you looked at the stat sheet at the end of the contest, as Paul Fischer's on his way, looking for a streaking Trevor Janicki, who had 2 goals last night, and it didn't miss by much.
It did not, and Trevor Janicki had a wide open cage. Heads up play by Paul Fischer, the man with the puck right now. I thought he should have shot maybe, but you know, looking at it again, the right play, unfortunately Trevor Janicki couldn't get a stick on it.
A lot of open ice in the first 90 seconds for Notre Dame. Probably not exactly what Augustana was hoping for here in game 2 in a bounce back effort as the puck comes all the way back into the Irish end. Hunter Strand takes it away for Notre Dame on a feed from Chase Brand. Up ahead for Maddox Fleming. His centering feed went all the way through for Michel Mastrodomenico, who shot from a wide angle, is kicked aside by Rose, and then it's chipped out towards center, and it does get to the neutral zone. Here's Strand. Had a couple of assists last night. Irish filled the stat sheet, getting 5 goals in that win. And Strand's wide angle attempt is kicked out by Rose once more.
Great forechecking there from Strand. That was basically 1-on-5. 4 other Fighting Irish were changing, and he did a great job of upsetting the breakout.
Quinn Rudrud gains the line, chips it in, and the Vikings will change on the fly. Henry Nelson. Brother Danny with Team USA in the World Junior Championships, assisted on a goal today in a victory over Slovakia.
Convincing victory over Slovakia, 10-2. Rutger McGroarty with a hat trick in that game.
That's someone with Michigan that we did not see when they were here about a month ago in South Bend, but goodness, that team is loaded. They look like they can win it all, Steve.
Yeah, well, they're the odds-on favorite to win it all. And right now, flu bug going through the team, so some guys maybe not feeling 100%.
Wide angle shot from Hayden Hennon had to be saved by Bischel. The rebounds on the doorstep, and it's in. Ben Trombley cleans up some loose change, and for the first time this weekend, the Vikings have the lead.
Well, Ryan Bischel made the first couple of saves, but he can't make the third one. And unfortunately for Bischel, his team can't get to the puck. There's the first one. There's the second. There's the third. And actually, it was the fourth that went in. An opportunity for the Fighting Irish to clear the puck. They didn't. And Augustana stays with it. And Tremblay, just his second goal of the year. Right place, right time, gives them the lead.
He had a 5-game stretch where he scored all 7 of his points back in the first month and a half of the season. He had not scored a point in his last 8 games, Steve, and he maybe gets the biggest point of the weekend for Augustana. They were chasing the game all night last night. They can finally play with a 1-goal advantage.
First time they've had the lead. And it's funny, they're listed as the first line, so they get a lot of ice time out there. He, Meerman, and Vachon. And yeah, that could help jumpstart the rest of his season.
See how they play with the lead now, as they have to have some energy on that bench. They were outmatched yesterday, but this is an Augustana team. If you weren't with us last night, it's their first season as a college hockey program in Division I. They tied number 2 Denver this year, beat Colorado College, got a win over Alaska before the break. Those are all teams in the top half of the pairwise. They've got the ability, certainly, to come into this building and not just compete with Notre Dame, but certainly look for a win.
Well, they're not going to get outworked, and even last night, halfway through that third period, it was just a 1-goal game. And it was that second goal by Cole Knuble that really blew things open. And you talked about Augustana being in their first year. Back in December 19, they announced that there was a strategic plan. We're going to be part of Division I hockey. That became a reality back on October 14th. Well, actually, that was their first victory against Bowling Green. Garrett Raboin, their head coach, who is overseas in Gothenburg, Sweden at the World Junior Championships, not behind the bench, but Taylor Nelson is, and what an opportunity for him. And I thought it was great what Coach Nelson said about Garrett Raboin, the fact that it's going to develop his career. He's just a young guy. It's a young coaching staff. That's going to help his career down the road in immeasurable ways.
Yeah, Raboin was the assistant coach at Minnesota for the last 4 years, so saw some great Gopher hockey players and teams during that run. Now he gets a chance to call the shots, but as you said, it's Taylor Nelson manning the ship right now. They'd love nothing more than to come in here to South Bend. First trip, of course, ever to Notre Dame and get a win. The only other Big Ten team they played was Wisconsin to open the season, and the Badgers swept them twice.
Shut out both times.
Yeah.
I think they were disappointed with the first period last night. What were the shots? 15-2 after 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Much better start for this team, the Vikings, in this hockey game.
Yeah, to your point, Steve. How about this? 5-2 already on the official stat sheet in shots. Just a little bit more than 5 minutes into the game. Vikings look like a different team here in the opening 5 minutes tonight. Long range shot from Zach Kluzinski gets all the way through. Rose is able to see it, make the save, and his save from earlier now feels even more important that his team has the lead. Stopped Moynihan 48 seconds into the game. That's
a good point. You know, they score there, it changes the complexion of this hockey game. And it just seems like the Vikings are doing a better job inside their own blue line in coverage. You know, yesterday, Notre Dame had their way. A lot of rotation from the defenseman, jumping up in the play, rotating down. And I think that confused Augustana a little bit. A lot better job here early in this hockey game.
We've spent more time on this side of the rink, too. Last night, 5-on-5, it felt like there were periods of time where Notre Dame really had the play controlled in the offensive end as an arm is up for a penalty here.
Looks like Pluzinski, who is battling in front of the net, might get a slashing call. And then, yeah, Pluzinski heading to the penalty box.
Notre Dame minor penalty, number 26, slashing.
Slashing is the call. That happens sometimes. You get battling in front of the net. You try to establish that this is my turf and I don't want you standing around here. Pluzinski got a little carried away, so Augustana with the game's first power play.
How about this? Each team had a power play goal last night. Vikings were 1 for 2 as Landon Slaggert has a chance to go shorthanded here. Here's the Irish captain in on goal, recovers the puck, finds a trailing Knuble, and at the last second his stick might have been lifted by Ryan Nemofsky.
I hope we get a chance to see that again. McIntyre, real good job defending there. He actually upset Landon Slaggert, but Slaggert stayed with it. Threw on the brakes, got the puck again, and almost set up Knuble.
It's a pretty impressive set play on the penalty kill, it looked like, for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
McIntyre has it now on the power play, and Bischel will cover this and stop play to get a whistle.
Well, you're absolutely right, because they won the draw. It was a set play, and they throw it around the boards hard. That's where Landon Slaggert picks it up in stride. And watch McIntyre here at the last second, the poke. But Slaggert stays with it, and I said Knuble. Oh, it was Knuble. Cole Knuble heading to the net. But a lot of guys who just keep skating by. Good presence of mind there for Slaggert to stop, get it, and spot Knuble. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the shot off.
Notre Dame's moved Cole Knuble to fill that hole left by Danny Nelson. And here in a game in a few minutes, he's looked like a different player playing with Slaggert and Patrick Moynihan. He's, of course, killing penalties on this shorthanded unit right now. But goodness, he looks so much more comfortable here, getting elevated to that top line.
Well, it's funny, we asked Coach Jackson about that, you know, because Nelson is on the power play, kills penalties. Watch this.
Feed by Nemofsky that goes all the way through, comes out towards the line, and it's held in by McIntyre.
But that's the kind of game that can really boost your confidence for a young Cole Knuble.
Just had an empty netter before last night, then he scores 3 goals for a hat trick. Pressure still on here. Friesen centers a feed that just went past the stick of Mobley. Comes out towards the blue line. Grant Silinov's there. Irish were looking at possibly going on a 2-on-1 shorthanded with Janicki joining the rush, and now they settle it in their own end.
It was Nemofsky who prevented that becoming a 2-on-1, and not normally known for his defense, but I think they're stressing that here with Augustana, that if you're going to get ice time, you got to play hard when you don't have the puck, and that's exactly what Nemofsky did.
Time for one last rush on the power play for the Vikings. Their only goal last night came on the power play as Arnaud Vachon drives it around the wall for Hennen. Sends it back down low for Owen Bond. Out it comes for Hennen. Final seconds of the power play. Slides it across for Brady Zemer. His shot was looking for a tip that time from Vachon. He recovers it, and the Irish are back to 5-on-5. Vachon pivots and shoots. It's wide of the net. Trombley, who has the only goal so far, goes after it. He's worked on by Mastrodomenico, taken down to the ice, and play continues. Long feed across the ice for Justin Janicki, who's streaking into the offensive end for Notre Dame. He recovers the puck. Janicki towards the slot. They lay it back for Henry Nelson, whose shot from distance is seen and saved cleanly.
A little chippier game early in this hockey game than it was last night. Not a lot of physicality, but we've seen some extracurricular after the whistle. And talk about a lopsided shot chart. That's the Fighting Irish's shots on the right. The Vikings, Augustana on the left. And yeah, the shots eventually 38-20. So the Irish basically doubling up Augustana in that department.
And you can see, too, where they're coming from as well. And now the numbers. How about this tonight, Steve? Already, Augustana with 7 shots, as we're going to get another penalty called. This one's going to go against the Vikings, but the numbers are matching up with what we've seen, I think, on the ice through the first 8+ minutes of this one.
Well, absolutely. And it's a good point
Augustana,
about
minor penalty, 2 minutes slashing.
Slashing to Rudrud. Good chunk of those shots for the Fighting Irish from right in the slot, prime scoring real estate. We saw Henry Nelson with a shot there. Henry Nelson had 5 shots last night for the Fighting Irish. Oh, and there's the slash there, right on the hands of the Fighting Irish forward.
Quick shot off the faceoff. I think saw Notre Dame run that exact same play last night on the faceoff, and Moynihan gets a one-timer that Rose is able to cover.
Yeah, we talked about it too. I like seeing that. You know, you establish we're going to be shooting the puck early and often. And, you know, unfortunately there, right into the midsection of Rose, so he absorbed it rather easily, and he gets the whistle. But if that's a little lower, maybe it comes off his pads. You get a puck retrieval, and you just reload it, do it all over again.
Irish power play coming into last night was just 3 for their last 28. They were 1 for 3 last night. Scored a big one from Knuble to get him the hat trick as Moynihan winds up another one-timer that doesn't get through, and it's cleared the other way.
I think that might have hit his own player, Landon Slaggert, who was trying to provide a screen. He ended up providing the block.
You see the numbers. Notre Dame in the bottom third of the country in the power play. Augustana just above average in penalty killing so far this year. It's swept out quickly. That was Trombley.
Yeah, that was a good clear. And that's always hard as a penalty killer. You get it on your backhand. You're not too sure if you can get it all the way down the ice. He hoisted it good 25 feet up in the air and 200 feet down the ice.
There's Landon Slaggert. Captain for Notre Dame had an assist last night. The Irish have still not won a game this year in which he has not recorded a point. As Moynihan backhands it across. Extra feed that time from Knuble was deflected out towards the line. Slaggert back for Knuble, pulls it through his legs. Moynihan in front. Rose makes the stop as Moynihan was looking for some magic on the doorstep.
Moynihan's had a couple good looks early in this game. Earlier, I thought maybe Cole Knuble should have shot this. He was at a bad angle. Kind of watch 22 to the far side. Can he shoot it? No, it may be the right decision. He goes for the pass, it goes off a skate. And then a little later on, watch the move by Moynihan through the legs, trying to surprise the goalie. And Zach Rose, he's looked calm, cool, and collected. Very good 10 minutes into this hockey game.
Moynihan looks really comfortable on the power play. He goes off, though. New line is out there for the final 45 seconds of this first Irish power play. Maddox Fleming goes down low. Janicki tries to pull it to his forehand. It's broken up. Good stick that time by Shea Donovan. Justin Janicki across for Paul Fisher. Bavaro retrieves the pass. His shot ricochets back out towards the line, and it does come to center ice.
That was a good block there by Augustana. They blocked a lot of shots last night, too, even though the Irish had 38. A number of blocked shots from the defensemen and forwards.
Oh, here's Paul Fisher, dangerous spot, winds it up, and Rose makes another big save. Fisher again, across for Fleming. Bavaro, now Fisher, holds over for Fleming. Final seconds of the power play have wound off. It's 5-on-5. Out of the box comes Rudrud as a drive goes wide. Now Bavaro winds one all the way around. That's going to come out to the neutral zone. This allows Augustana to change. Irish trying to catch him in it. Jaden Davis drops for Tyler Carpenter as the Irish fourth line gets on the ice.
Shot from Carpenter did not miss by much. Pretty good penalty kill there, though, from Augustana.
Intercepted by Vachon. Here he comes. Bischel the save. Rebound was loose, and it's swept out before any Vikings get onto it. Now Carpenter on the move again. Has Mastrodomenico with him. Carpenter shoots, hits the post. Rebound hit the post again, and it's chipped up out of play towards center.
Well, as Jeff Jackson told us, we lead the league in hit posts, and there are a couple in one play.
Bischel makes a save against Simon Falk, and it will stop play with 8:19 in the first period. Augustana has a 1-0 lead. The Irish were inches away from tying the score, not once, but twice. There's a look at the acting head coach for Augustana, Taylor Nelson. Played his hockey at Ferris State as a goaltender. He's done a great job this weekend, kind of running the show behind the bench, Steve. We just saw him during the timeout, really actively coaching his bunch. You get the sense like he's relishing this opportunity to call the shots.
Well, he was animated, wasn't he? And he talked about that to us. And he loves hockey, and he said he really loved Marc-Andre Fleury because of the fun he has playing goal. And he's having fun right now behind the bench. And that rubs off on the players, and it makes everyone a little more comfortable, maybe a little more relaxed. And you can certainly see the energy, and that's what I love to see. And he stressed to us, the foundation of this team, come with energy, communicate, and there was another C that I'm forgetting right now, but I'll look at my notes later.
Yeah, you'll track it down. The 3 C's as Trevor Janicki shoots wide. I thought your point, too, was great about goaltenders. Sometimes they're kind of left to themselves. Maybe they aren't the fun ones of the bunch, but he was quick to point out we got to have fun. He likes goaltenders that want to have fun. And that's really come across in the way he's coached this team this weekend.
Well, I told him my experience playing with Billy Smith, who, when I was with the New York Islanders, was a great guy off the ice, but during games, boy, he was a grumpy old man between the pipes. And it was communicate. Come with energy, compete, and communicate.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's their foundation, and we saw that during that TV timeout behind the bench. That's exactly what he was bringing to the team.
Team has the lead right now, and they've got the puck in the offensive end. Colton Friesen played a really nice 200-foot game last night for the Vikings.
Yeah, he did. We mentioned last night a Division III player last year. Not very many players who play in Division III hockey make it to Division I, and he is one of them.
Yeah, the second line last night was Mobley, Friesen, and Nemovsky, who they've moved to the third line. One of the more veteran and experienced players who has the puck right now. Brett Meerman moves up to the second line as this puck goes up and out of play. They've shuffled the lines really throughout the year at Augustana, trying to find that perfect combination and see where they can generate the most efficient scoring opportunities.
And there you see Nemovsky, who played at Niagara for a number of years. And I remember talking to Jason Lammers, his head coach. He said he's a real hockey nerd. He said he would look up plays on YouTube and share them with me. And he said as a result, it made me a better coach. So Nemovsky, I think they're just trying to get a little more scoring throughout the lineup, on the third line now. Because last night it was just basically, I mean, the Vachon line started to come on in the third period, but up until that point it was Luke Mobley's line doing all the damage.
The second line last night, to your point, was really the only line that was able to push Notre Dame around the ice a little bit. So this is the third line with Nemovsky, Callum Gow, Owen Bond. They have the puck in the offensive end right now. Should also mention Nemovsky, as he swings and misses at a centering feed that time. He's playing in his 150th career game. Irish are on the move now. Fisher tried to feed one ahead for Knuble, given away, and here comes Nemovsky on his own, waiting for reinforcements. Nemovsky holds, drops it off to a trailer, and Landon Slaggert, the captain, saves the day.
You know, Nemovsky checked his shoulder too. He thought the man was open, but that speed is Slaggert. He got back, he breaks up the play. And that was basically a 2-on-1 that turned into a 3-on-2. And Landon Slaggert snuffed it out. And as you mentioned, 150th consecutive game played for Ryan Nemovsky. That's pretty impressive. What's the record, NCAA record?
175. Okay. So if he plays every game the rest of the year, Steve, he'll get to 168. They're eligible for the NCAA tournament. It would take a really impressive run at the end of the season. They're not eligible for the CCHA postseason until 2 years from now. As Maddox Fleming's on the move, off for Justin Janicki. His shot is saved. No rebound as Rose is able to cover it.
Rose has done a real good job controlling rebounds, whether it's been punching him out to the corner or absorbing them into his body, and that was another good example. You know, Janicki with the shot, and there was people heading to the net. Justin Janicki with a shot, and that rebound comes out anymore. Somebody can jump on it, but Rose, you mentioned the .905 save percentage. Doesn't sound great, but a lot of quality shots. And as his coach, acting head coach Taylor Nelson said, the goalies have kept him in a lot of games.
Here come the Vikings again. This shot from Will Howard just goes wide as the top line is out there. Howard along with Vachon and Tremblay. Tremblay's got the lone goal so far. Strand the other way for Notre Dame. Fires on Rose. Rebounds loose. Mastrodomenico ties the game. Michel Mastrodomenico has his first career goal.
Well, I talked about Zach Rose and his rebound control. It had been perfect up to that point. This one comes off his body. Mastrodomenico jumps on it. The Irish bring the puck up. Kind of a bad angle shot from Strand, but it comes out, and Mastrodomenico had jumped up on the play. Goes off the arm. The defenders, Svendal, can't quite locate it. Right behind him, actually kicks it with his skate, and Mastrodomenico just squeezes it between the arm of Rose. First career goal, as you mentioned, Tony, and smiles all over that Irish bench.
Wow, we saw that from Knuble last night when he got the hat trick. The smile told 1,000 words. You can see Michael Mastrodomenico, first career goal tonight, playing in his 39th career game. The defenseman has tied the score.
Well, Mastrodomenico, you know, he's known as an offensive defenseman, and look at that smile. I just love seeing that. Came into this game with 4 assists. He had an assist in that last game. And a play like that can really help your confidence, really jumpstart your game. Not that he was playing bad, but I think it's going to give him a little more confidence offensively to jump up on the play, to join the rush. And we made that point last night, Tony, and Brock Sheahan works with the defenseman. I noticed them really getting involved in the play offensively. That was a great example of Mastrodomenico jumping up on the play and it paying off for him.
I feel like I've asked you this before, but you had 41 NHL goals in your career. Do you remember the first one?
Oh, absolutely. It's against Dan Bouchard of the Quebec Nordiques. Of course, the Quebec Nordiques no longer. They are now the Colorado Avalanche. But right. Bobby McMillan assisted on it, and oh yeah, something I'll never forget.
Back in 1981, 82?
Would have been 81, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's... I still haven't seen video of it. Might be in black and white, but I scored it. And as I mentioned, Bob McMillan, longtime Atlanta Flame, then Calgary Flame. And Dan Bouchard, who was with the Calgary Flames their first year, went to Quebec City and the Quebec Nordique. And yeah, similar to that play with Mastrodomenico. I jumped up on the play, but I got a direct pass from Bobby McMillan, put it between his legs.
Yeah, great to see Mastrodomenico get on the board for the first time. His Hennon shot is gloved by Bischel, and that stops play.
Well, Jeff Jackson picked up his 401st win as a member or as a coach of the Fighting Irish. And, you know, he stressed to us during their practice week that puck possession was first and foremost on their mind. I thought their puck possession was fantastic last night against Augustana. And it's something going forward, especially when you play Big Ten teams, that becomes even more important because, you know, you control the puck, you control the play, and then, you know, your offense effectively becomes your defense.
Notre Dame's going to have a good test on their hands next weekend when Wisconsin comes to town. As Bond has a chance to shoot it, Bischel saw it, didn't glove it very cleanly. Mobley then feeds it towards the line, but it's taken by Tyler Carpenter. Sends it for Knuble. Cole Knuble tried to drop it back for Carpenter. Retrieved his own pass and then sends it out for Drew Bavaro. Bavaro off for Knuble. To his backhand, almost got the shot on Rose. Didn't quite get there, but it's recovered by Patrick Moynihan. Cross for Jake Boltman. Down it goes for Knuble. This looks a little bit more like what we saw from Notre Dame last night, 5-on-5. Henry Nelson's shot gets to Rose, and he makes the save.
Yeah, defenseman rotating down. It was Boltman who jumped down, and then Nelson staying back at the point. Really good rotation. And, you know, for the defending team, that's tough, especially when you don't play a strict man-to-man. Augustana more of that zone defense, and you've got to trust your teammates if somebody's coming down that they've got them.
Face-offs tonight, much more even. Last night, Notre Dame won at a 2-to-1 rate. 39-19 was the advantage. Tonight, after they win that one, it's just 11-8 in favor of the Irish. You see right there, they're one of the top 5 face-off teams in the country as this pass is centered in front and it hops up high in the air. Augustana is one of the 3 worst face-off teams in the country. Trombley trying to get it out of his own end. He does manage to get it out to center. Will Howard is on the puck. Sends it for Vachon, tipped by Knuble towards net and just wide.
Good awareness there by Ryan Bischel. He realized it went off the skate. I don't know that he stopped it, but he saw that puck changed directions.
Almost some friendly fire on Bischel as Ziemer takes a spill. Moynihan hates the call, but the arm is up, and a chance to go to work with an extra attacker here as Rose goes to the bench.
Yeah, that stick looked like between the legs under the skate of Ziemer. He gets upended, and yeah, that's going to be a tripping call on Moynihan.
It's touched up in the corner, and this is going to allow the Vikings to go on the power play for close to the remainder of the first period.
They didn't have many good looks on that first power play, but an opportunity late.
18, 2 minutes tripping.
Tripping the call on Moynihan. They'll have an opportunity late here. Obviously, real important to win that first draw. But Moynihan in on the forecheck. Oh yeah, that stick just got under the skate blade. Ziemer steps on it, loses his balance. Good call. And a power play for Augustana.
Mobley's out for the faceoff against Trevor Janicki, who won 13 of 17 faceoffs last night for Notre Dame. Bowman drives it around, and again, shorthanded. They're off to the races. Silanoff with Janicki. Silanoff has his pass broken up by a sliding McIntyre. Recovers for Janicki, and the shot goes wide.
Great defensive play by McIntyre. Kind of helicoptered. He went down to take away the pass, and he swung his stick around, blocked it. But they ended up getting a second opportunity right in front of the net.
It's the second time Notre Dame, off of a shorthanded faceoff, has sprung the breakout around the boards.
Well, Tony, you mentioned it's a set play, and when you win the draw, and they didn't win it cleanly. Mobley actually won it back halfway, but they ended up with the puck in the corner, hard around the boards, and they're off to the races.
Tipped ahead, Landon Slaggert's got a chance. Here he is, the captain, shorthanded, shoots just wide.
I don't think he realized he had Cole Knuble on his backhand. It would have had to be a backhand pass, but Slager tried to go high upstairs and put it over the crossbar.
1 minute into the power play, and the shorthanded unit has had two great chances, and the power play team has yet to find any luck on the offensive end.
Happens sometimes with power plays. You figure, okay, we've got the man advantage. We can take our foot off the gas a little bit, but when you're playing against a Fighting Irish team that can absolutely fly, you've got to be aware.
Vachon gets to it, drives it around as they try to set up this 5-on-4 with less than a minute to go in the period, and now half a minute to go in the power play. Ryan Seedham has it wedged up against the wall. 3 Vikings go into the corner to work on it. Trombley's there. His pass is intercepted by Justin Janicki, and it can go 2-on-2. Sends it for Strand. Gains the line. Hunter Strand from the goal line as his pass intercepted. Drives it out for Bavaro. Fisher's wide open. Paul Fisher lines up a slap shot that goes up high in the air, and Rose had to fend it off. Now Bavaro snaps his twig. It's intercepted with 15 seconds left. Here comes Bond. Into the offensive end. Bond's pass is deflected. It'll go all the way back into the Augustana end, and that's going to end the first period. One of the more bizarre power plays I think I've seen all season.
Looked like the power play was for the Irish, but it was actually for Augustana. Real good first period, though. Impressed with the way Augustana came out, and as a result, we got a 1-1 tie.
Entertaining first period of play between these two teams. We'll get a chance to talk to the goal scorer, Michel Mastrodomenico, about his first career goal. We'll break down the entire first period of play. It's the final game before the new year, and both teams brought plenty of energy in the first 20 minutes. 27 total shots. Ben Trombley got Augustana on the board first, and then Michel Mastrodomenico had the answer. All right, we're joined now by the goal scorer in the first period, Michel Mastrodomenico. We saw the smile on the bench. We see the smile now, Michael. Just tell me, what did it feel like to get that first career goal?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. A lot of emotions, but just happy. Get us back in this one, but we got to keep going.
Hey, Michael, it just seems like the defense are getting a lot more involved, and maybe I'm just reading into it, but these last 2 games, the defense really becoming a big part of the offense. Just talk about your thought process on the goal.
Yeah, I think with a new coach, Coach Sheehan, he's introduced a lot of movement up top, and especially against a quadra system like this, we're able to get more involved in the zone, and we're producing a lot, and we got a lot of guys who can think it. So yeah, it's fun getting involved, and seeing a lot of guys get points, it's good.
Hey, Michael, last one for you. Was a really eventful first period. 27 total shots. You guys are tied at 1. Just from your standpoint, what do you guys have to do in the final 2 periods to get the win tonight?
I think we got to clean up our neutral zone. We're not really getting pucks up. They're clogging up the neutral zone quite a bit. We got to get pucks into their zone, and then just last night we're all over the offensive zone, so if we can get some possession down there, I think it'll be our game.
All right, congrats on the first goal, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks a lot. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Happy New Year to Michel Mastrodomenico. Great to talk with him. The Irish and Vikings tied at 1 after 1. Everyone at the Compton Family Ice Arena is ready to ring in the new year. We are fast approaching 2024. 1 period in the books between Notre Dame and Augustana. Welcome back inside the Compton Family Ice Arena. Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy. Really fun first period. 27 total shots. And Steve, Augustana for the first time all weekend had the lead after that early goal to start the period.
Yeah, much better start to the game for them. They crashed the net. They got maybe a little bit of luck here with bodies in front of the net. Looks like Howard just tries to get it a couple of times. 2 great saves by Bischel, but he can't stop the third one. That's Tremblay, who pays the price in the blue paint. That gives them a 1-0 lead. Special teams are real important, especially for the Fighting Irish. This is shorthanded. They had 2 really good looks down a man. Here, Landon Slager, great speed to the outside. Not only that first shot, but he sets up Cole Knuble in front. And then again, almost identical play. The hard clear by the Fighting Irish, and it turns into a 2-on-1. Real good stop here by the defenseman McIntyre, swinging his stick. But later in that period, Mastrodomenico, we just talked with him. He joined the rush, his first ever NCAA goal. A big one, too, for the Fighting Irish. That tied it later in the first period at 1, and it's all smiles for Mastrodomenico.
It was great to talk to him during the intermission. If you're with us, that smile hasn't left his face, as far as I could tell, for good reason. He's on the score sheet in the goal column for the first time in his 39th career game, and it's a new hockey game thanks to him.
Yeah, well, it's you know, he talked about the way that Augustana defends, and he called it quadrants.
Yes,
kind of a zone defense where you're in charge of your own quadrant. And he said Brock Shahan telling him to get involved offensively. That's what he did. He got the green light, and it paid off.
Let's see what adjustments, if any, both teams make out of that first intermission. Shots were 16-11 in favor of Notre Dame. Cole Knuble's on his way in again. Good work that time from Anthony Stark to back check and not allow him to get in cleanly on Rose. Now Mobley's on his way in on Bischel, and Paul Fisher's able to break that one up at the last second.
Good stick from Fisher, who's had a quiet, strong game for the Fighting Irish. Down the other end, Cole Knuble did a good job protecting the puck on his backhand, but Stark, oh, look at this save.
Wow, Rose kicked out a juicy rebound, and then Bavaro couldn't get a second clean shot on.
Good initial save, and then the second one, not a lot of juice behind that shot. Here's the shot from distance, kicked it out, rebound comes right back to Rose. And that was Brennan Ali, who we typically see a lot more from. You know, whenever Ali's on the ice, good things are happening. Didn't see that as much last night. That was his first real good look in this hockey game, so keep an eye on Brennan Ali.
One thing you've pointed out throughout really the last 3 years, Steve, is Ryan Bischel's rebound control. You saw that big rebound from Rose. I'm just curious, from a guy that played the game at least, not in net, but as a goaltender, how much of that can be learned and how much of it is just inherent skill and God-given ability to control rebounds with intentionality?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's a little bit of both. I think you can learn it, but some of it's just instinctual. Some goaltending coaches talk to it as a freeze rate. You know, being able to place rebounds in the corner, that would be considered a freeze. Catching it in your glove, obviously a freeze. But listen, in the NHL especially, it's not the initial shot you normally score on. It's the second and third opportunities. And, you know, that was Augustana on their first goal. It wasn't the first shot. It wasn't the second shot. It's actually the fourth shot that they beat Bischel on.
Jake Boltman takes the puck down low for Notre Dame, gives it to Carter Slager. Out high it comes for Jaden Davis, whose shot gets in on Rose. The rebound was unavailable for Carpenter. Rose managed to keep it in close quarters, and he gets a cover.
And you saw Ryan Carpenter there a little upset with himself. Boy, he's had a couple good looks in this game. Hit the post in the first period, and here just paying the price, providing the screen, swinging around. Jaden Davis getting that through a maze of legs. And Tyler Carpenter make that. Didn't make contact with that puck on the rebound, but Zach Rose was quick to cover and made sure there wasn't a third attempt.
Tyler Carpenter is on the fourth line with Davis and Slager. They're out there still. He's still tied for third on the team in goals with 4. There's a lot of heavy lifting offensively for this team often on that fourth line. He also has a face-off rate above 60 coming into tonight's game.
Well, when you think about it, he's not on the power play. He doesn't kill penalties. And yet, third on the team in goals for forwards. So pretty impressive numbers for the junior.
Now Jaden Davis, who's out there with Carpenter, turns and shoots one that deflects up high and out of play. I thought Davis, who just took the shot as well, played a really sharp game last night, getting just his 5th appearance of the year.
I like the way he plays, kind of free and easy. He's a skilled guy, but he skates with strength. I mean, he's a freshman. He's not the biggest guy at 5'10", but he's almost 190 pounds. A Calgary, Alberta native, and you see the intensity on the bench. Kind of upset with himself that shot got blocked, but he's got an excellent shot, really good shot, and just seems like things happen when he and Carpenter are on the ice.
Davis came into tonight's game with a 66% face-off win percentage. Scored 1 goal earlier this season against Clarkson. He's only taken 3 official shots, so he's been efficient when he's been out there for Notre Dame. Silanoff takes a big hit from McIntyre in the corner. Then Janicki returns the favor. He's got Silanoff with him. Oh, and the pass is broken up at the last second by McIntyre. Stopped what would have been an opportunity for Silanoff to shoot it in open cage.
Yeah, Hennon was slow to get up. That was a huge hit on the far side. Kind of turned into a 2-on-1. If we get an opportunity to look at that again, I think the defender for Augustana got his stick on that pass, just upset it a little bit. Couldn't pull the trigger cleanly.
McIntyre is one of those guys we talked about last night who had a lengthy career at Ohio State where he didn't play that much as Knuble whiffs on a elevated pass, and now Moynihan recovers, drops it for Henry Nelson, whose shot goes up and out of play.
That gets blocked too. Big hit along the far boards, and when there's the hit, and that was Trevor Janicki, and then the pass, that's an excellent hit. Separate man from puck. The pass actually got deflected by McIntyre in front, so it wasn't a clean look by Silanoff. Had that knockout deflected, I think Silanoff would have had the one-timer.
You mentioned Janicki last night, Steve, and his size, 5'10", 200 pounds. As this deflects up out of play. That was a great example, I think, right there of why at the next level you're pretty high on his ability because he can use his body that way.
Yeah, and sometimes you get that low center of gravity. You know, 5'10", you're not the tallest guy in the world, but you've got big legs, and all that weight is down low, and that can really upend guys. And you know, you get that strength down low in your legs, and then you're strong on the puck. I can remember talking to Jeff Jackson a couple of years ago saying there's not many board battles that Trevor Janicki loses.
We talked a lot about Knuble for good reason. He had a hat trick last night. First Irish hat trick in a couple of years, but just as big of a story might have been Trevor Janicki getting 2 goals as Bavaro's shot goes wide. He's somebody that can easily end the season with double figures in goal scoring, even though he's only done it in one of his previous 4 seasons. If they get that kind of Trevor Janicki they saw last night the rest of the year, they're going to be a real threat in the Big Ten, Steve.
Well, he almost had the hat trick. Remember that unbelievable stop by Hargraves? That was a sure goal. That would have been, well, he got the hat trick later. He hit the second goal later in the 3rd period. But the kind of guy who, when he gets scoring, Trevor Janicki can get on a real run. And Notre Dame this weekend. First 18 games, Cole Knuble just had the 1. Trevor Janicki had 3. Mastrodomenico didn't have any. And this weekend, yeah, Cole Knuble triples up what he had. Trevor Janicki gets a couple more. And Mastrodomenico, his first ever collegiate goal.
That's a great graphic from our crew.
Yeah.
Those 3 guys, yeah, you saw it right there. 4 goals in the first 18 games, 3 in the last game, and a period in 5 minutes. I mean, just, I believe that was one of your New Year's resolutions you set out there for Notre Dame last night, right? More scoring from, I guess, non-top line forwards, and they've listened to you so far.
They certainly have. Which brings us to, what are your New Year's resolutions?
Oh, boy.
Tony?
It's a long list.
Good block.
Shot didn't quite get through. Hunter Strand's got the puck. Pulls it around. And now he gives it to Maddox Fleming. battled for in the corner. Now it comes out to Stark. Now taken back by Janicki in front, looking for Strand. His shot saved by Rose. Couldn't find the rebound, but did just enough to draw a whistle.
Talk about Trevor Janicki's work along the boards. How about Justin Janicki, who's not as big as his older brother, but watch the steal in behind the net. Stark gets it, and Janicki just strips him cleanly, gets it to the front of the net. It's a bang-bang play. Hunter Strand's had a real good weekend, too. He's had 3 assists over these 2 games, and he almost scores the goal. Strand on a little bit of a run. 2 goals in his last 4 games. And with that assist, he's got 3 assists now in these last 2 games.
Yeah, he's come alive a little bit as well. And I think Augustana has to be a little bit careful right now, Steve. In the second period, Notre Dame is out shooting them 7-0. They've started to tilt the ice a little bit in the direction that it felt like last night in periods, frankly, 1 and 3. Second period was actually Augustana's best period last night.
Yeah.
But so far, it's been all Notre Dame. The majority of this period has been played on this right side of the rink. Again, Davis battling after a puck. This 4th line for Notre Dame once again out there. Callum Gow, though, has some time and space to skate through center and try to set something up in the offensive end for the Vikings. Quickly, though, Irish are back out the other way. Carter Slaggert's feed hit a skate. Davis recovers, off for Seedham, finds Carpenter. Shot didn't get through, got his own deflected puck, and then it rolled into the corner. Wow, good feed by Davis to get it all the way into the corner, and Carpenter was able to track it down before having it dislodged.
Yeah, it was good because he was under a little bit of pressure. Out by the blue line, you turn it over. That's a possible breakaway the other way, but made a good pass, cross-ice pass, all the way to the corner that Carpenter could get to.
Puck's out to the neutral zone. Bavaro's there. Off for Trevor Janicki. He stops up, sends it for Silanoff. Grant Silanoff on his way, sends it in front at the top of the paint, comes out for Fisher, and he scores! Paul Fisher gives the Irish the lead.
Mentioned Paul Fisher in period number 1. He's having a really solid weekend here against Augustana. Had the assist last night on Cole Knuble's goal. Watch him take the extra second. Gets his head up, stops the clearing attempt, doesn't shoot it right away, but when he does, he picks his spot. Watch him here. He gets it, he looks, then he shoots, maybe a part of a screen on Rose, but he puts it inside that left post as you look at the net. But head up, picks his spot. Nice wrist shot just inside the post. Gives the Fighting Irish the lead.
Augustana led 1-0. The Irish have scored the last 2 goals. They're looking for more. Knuble had a chance to move in quickly there, but Mobley poked it free from behind, and now we'll see how the Vikings respond here, trailing for the first time tonight.
Both Fighting Irish goals by defensemen, we should point out.
Mastrodomenico with the first. Fisher gets that one. How far has he come, Steve, since his first weekend with a couple of those costly turnovers in the opening weekend series against Clarkson? He looks like a different player.
Yeah. He almost made a 150-foot pass to Cole Knuble. You're right. The confidence is growing.
Wow. Moynihan then has a clean look, and Rose makes the save. Right now, the Vikings are holding on for dear life.
Yeah, you know, not many guys can make a long 120-foot pass. Fisher almost does. Look at this. 150-foot pass. That bounced just at the last second on Cole Knuble. He does get it to the front of the net, though. And Moynihan, boy, he's had 3 or 4 really good looks in this hockey game.
Shots are now 26-11 for Notre Dame. It was 17-11, or 16-11 rather, at the intermission. A penalty coming, though. This could be the biggest gift the Vikings have received all weekend.
I think it's going against Justin Janicki.
Got the extra man out there right now. This also is important for 2 reasons. One, they can run a little time off the clock, but 2, if you score, you also still get the power play in college hockey. So they're 6-on-5 for now, until Notre Dame touches the puck, as Will Howard absorbs a big hit from Mastrodomenico, and then it is finally touched by an Irish skater.
Nice hit by Mastrodomenico, and I think it's going to be Justin Janicki heading to the penalty box. It is. Listen for the call.
Notre Dame minor penalty, number 8,
Hooking the call. Janicki ended up losing his stick on the play too, so I think he realized that he was going to get a penalty and tried to let go of the stick. There it is. Actually got stuck in the hip pocket of McIntyre. No, they don't have pockets, but yeah, it got stuck on his hip. And Augustana with an opportunity. The power play has not looked very good thus far, though, Tony.
And again, they struggle with a face-off, which allows Notre Dame to quickly take it the other direction. 0 for 2 tonight on the power play. Notre Dame on the most recent Augustana power play may have had more official shots on goal, shorthanded. Here's Friesen across from Meerman, who's had a quiet night. Friesen drives it around and see if they can set things up. Mobley out high for McIntyre, gets it back, walks his way in, shoots. Bischel makes the save, and it's cleared down the ice.
Good job by Ryan Bischel. That jumped out of his glove, but he got it with the paddle of his stick. Kind of nudged it over to a fenceman who got it down the ice.
It was the first shot on goal from the Vikings this period. Bischel makes the save, his 12th of the night. Mobley drops it for McIntyre. Still more than a minute to go. Now Nemovsky. Playing his 150th career game tonight. Over for Friesen. His shot seen the whole way from Bischel. Makes the save. A couple of guys come together after the play.
Real good penalty kill here from the Irish. And we should give a shout out to Brock Shahan. And Jeff Jackson went out of his way a few weeks ago to say that Brock Shahan in charge of the penalty kill. There's Brock, former Fighting Irish player himself. And he has really changed, well, basically the way they kill penalties. Kind of a push down penalty kill. And they try to get guys shooting from the boards, the half wall, nothing from the middle of the ice. And as you pointed out, Tony, not only are they snuffing out any chances, they're actually getting more chances shorthanded than Augustana has with the man advantage.
It's a face-off, important win for the Vikings. They can go to work now and set it up instead of having to chase the puck in their own end. One-timer for Trombley, who has the lone Viking goal tonight. Good block that time.
Yeah, Zach Buzinski. And then aggressive too, except they couldn't get the clear there. But that's what happens when you see Augustana with the puck and maybe it's jumping on them or they got the back to you. You can be very aggressive, and that's exactly what the Irish are doing, just picking their spots.
Trombley shoots again. It's Kluzinski's stick this time that gets in the way. He came into the weekend leading the team in block shots with 34. He's got the puck and he can clear it now.
I think it's an underappreciated portion of the game is block shots. You know, defenders and listen, if you're blocking a shot, a lot of times it's a big slap shot, and you got equipment, but there's some parts of your body that aren't always protected, and a lot of these big D will turn sideways to block shots, and on the side of your body, there's typically not a lot of padding there.
Drew Bavaro walks in and fires one over the crossbar.
Love seeing the D get involved.
We're quick to point it out last night. It's been a trend that's continued through tonight. The defensemen have both of the Irish goals, but goodness, really both nights, Steve, they've been extremely active offensively for Notre Dame.
I think, you know, I see it in the NHL, the D getting involved more because the defenses are so good. You've got to have a defenseman act like a forward. So now you've got 4 forwards on the ice. It just makes it a lot more difficult for the defenders to pick up that 4th guy.
Coming into the weekend, Notre Dame, and still after last night, their 3rd and 4th leading scorers, point scorers, were Ryan Seedham and Drew Bavaro. We have 2 defensemen that double digits in points. A lot of assists from Seedham, but 4 goals from Bavaro. And then you get Fisher and Mastrodomenico in on the action tonight. Starting to emerge a little bit as Slaggert has it in the slot, settles the puck, drops it off for Henry Nelson. He looks, shoots, didn't miss by much. Puck not out yet. Friesen towards the neutral zone, intercepted by Slaggert. Gives it to Boltman. He wants it back. Settles it with his skate. Good work by Slaggert. Out to Boltman. Across for Nelson. Down low for Moynihan. Irish moving the puck at will right now on the offensive end as Boltman's shot deflects wide. Takes a funny hop for Moynihan, who wrists it over the bar. Moynihan's got it again, down for Knuble, but it's intercepted by Hayden Hennon, who sweeps it off the boards. Back to Knuble, though. Here's Cole Knuble, holding, shooting. Rose makes a big stop. And this Irish offense in this period, unrelenting. Nelson was streaking back door. He pivots, rings one off the wall that goes all the way back the other way. And now it's Brett Meerman who can track it down first. Meerman will wait for 4 new Vikings to come off the bench to join him. And now he'll race towards the bench for a change himself.
Yeah, that was a long shift for the Augustana players. Nobody had the energy to join Meerman. He did a good job just controlling the puck and waiting for fresh faces.
Good check that time by Zemer. Runs Ali off the puck. It's taken back by Jeff Hutchinson, the freshman defenseman. Up for Nomovsky. Here he comes into the offensive end. Fires one that Bischel's able to watch go high and wide as it rolls into the corner. Silanov is able to bank it out, and Notre Dame will clear their own end. There's Trevor Janicki. Fifth-year man drops it for Ali. Silanov in front. Puck was loose. Just tipped ahead by Callum Gow for himself. He can skate into the offensive end, send it for a streaking Hutchinson, and it rolls along the other way.
Good defense from Pluzinski. Hutchinson had jumped up in the play, as you mentioned, Tony, but Pluzinski made sure that his stick wasn't available. Took the man perfectly in front of the net.
It's been a lengthy stretch without a whistle. As the clock ticks under 7 minutes to go here in period number 2.
I think these guys had a New Year's Eve party to go to tonight, maybe.
Bischel will glove this and stop play. 6:36 left in the second period. Notre Dame has taken the lead. It's the defenseman tonight. First, Michel Mastrodomenico on the board, and then Paul Fischer, the freshman, with his second goal of the season.
Well, there's Paul Fischer, the true freshman, just 18 years of age. He's got to be over 6 feet, a little over 200 pounds, the River Forest native. Had an assist last night, and then tonight, I like the awareness here. Head up, picks his spot, scores the goal, and there's so many brother combinations on this team. Paul Fischer's uncle, Mike Guerin, played here, I'd say maybe 15, 20 years ago. His Uncle Mike wore the number 16. That's part of the reason Paul Fischer wears the number 16. So good for you, Paul, and you're doing your uncle very proud.
He has made such great strides this first year. When you look at the Notre Dame defensive core, they've got all those veterans we talk about. Bavaro, Pluzinski, Seedham, Jake Boltman. But the 2 young guns on the lines tonight, Michel Mastrodomenico, Paul Fischer, have scored the goals. You can see the talent that's there. You usually want, I think, big collision. Veteran defensive core, but when the young guys can get involved the way they have, Steve, it really adds a new dynamic to the lineup.
Oh, absolutely, and it's a good sign for the future, too.
One-timer didn't get through. Here's Fischer again. Oh, tipped just wide.
He wants the puck. You know, he's feeling it right now. That was a fake shot pass to Fleming that everyone bid on. Fleming was wide open to the far side. Then he gets it again and just missed with the shot.
Notre Dame's dominated the second period. Only 1 goal, but they've held the puck on this side of the ice for the majority of the first 14 minutes and 15 seconds. As a whistle's going to stop play. I guess they got maybe a hand pass.
Yeah, I think you're right.
High stick, something stops play.
Well, you might not be able to see it on TV, but the eye test up here is to our right. The ice is all chewed up. There's plenty of snow down by Zach Rose. When you look down by Ryan Bischel, the ice is pretty clean. And that's what I typically look at, and that tells me, yeah, there you go. That's where all the action's been, and that's why you see the buildup of snow down by Ryan Bischel. Well, in the crease, it's, goalies like to scuff up their crease. They don't want to slide too much. But yeah, inside the blue line, it's pretty clean ice for the Fighting Irish.
That's a great point. Also, you saw the scoreboard just show 12-3 in shots this period in favor of Notre Dame. It was 15-3 in the first period last night for the Irish.
Look at Boltman down behind the net.
And he almost fed one right for Knuble. It's intercepted, swept out. Yeah, here's Slaggert, a forward at the left point.
Love the rotation.
You can see Augustana, that quadrant you were pointing out, that you talked to Michel Mastrodomenico about, as they defend somewhat like a zone defense you might see in basketball. Mastrodomenico has the puck. Notre Dame just having their way. They can move the puck with ease right now on the offensive end, and it is 5-on-5.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a power play. And they realize that the defenders are tired now. And when you've got the 5 guys defending tired, you know it, and you try to take advantage of it. Looks like they'll break it out here, though.
It seems like the Vikings need to find a way to get into the locker room and just get those 12 to 15 minutes of rest, because they're just coming off a timeout as Mastrodomenico fires another shot in on Rose, who's been busy, and he makes another save.
Mastrodomenico played in the World Junior Championships for Canada a couple of years ago, as you mentioned last night. And you can see the confidence, right? All of a sudden he gets the puck and he jumps up the ice with it and he gets a good shot on net. And he's going to study what he did there. I think he was trying to go 5-hole on Rose. That puck just a little too high, though. Ended up in his belly. But real strong outing from all the defensemen over these last 2 games, Tony. You know, getting involved offensively is sometimes easier said than done, but they've been taking chances at the right time and jumping down and getting involved at the right time. And that's been a key.
Trevor Janicki pivots, shoots. Rose makes another big save. Held his post well as Janicki tried to sneak it by him. Puck again not out of the Viking end. Janicki drives it around. Ryan Seedham, defenseman, comes down, plays it for a forward. Ali at the line, carries it along the blue line. Now takes it down low. Silanoff for Pluzinski. Lost the puck. Trouble brewing. This is Friesen, who hops on it, drops it off for Modley. Ahead for Meerman. Oh, he went 5-hole on Bischel, but he missed the net.
Went through the legs and just by that left post as we look at it. And that's the danger when your D get involved and you start taking chances at the blue line. You turn it over, it turns into an odd man rush. And that's exactly what happened on that last rush.
It's a funny sport. Seems like Notre Dame has dominated the last 10 or 15 minutes and just inches away from possibly tying the score with the Vikings.
Yeah, and that can turn the complexion of the hockey game totally.
See if that can spark them a little bit here in the final 3 minutes. As Brand's going to track it down and drop it back for Shea Donovan. Scored his first career goal a couple games back against Alaska. Goes wide, and onto the puck is Rudrud. Out for a wide angle shot that ricochets towards the line. Anthony Stark is there to drive it down low. If nothing else, a lengthy shift in the Irish end should do wonders for the Viking confidence.
And it all started with a turnover. You know, it looked like a harmless play, but it turns into a 2-on-1. Then they keep the puck down low, and now they're hemmed in their own zone.
On the move again. Gow, a feed across, and they've tied the score. Owen Bond in transition evens the ledger at 2.
It's been all fighting Irish in this hockey game. They turn a puck over at the offensive blue line. And even though they did get it out of their own zone, it comes right back right away. Nobody able to change, so guys are tired. And Bond, who had 3 shots last night in the game, gets a key shot here, the game-tying goal. That's a nice feed, too, from Rudrud. And a partially open net for Bond. He slams it home, and we get a tie hockey game.
Well, you're right. On second look, that feed from Rudrud was swift to Bond. And this game is tied. Kind of unbelievable when you just look at how the last 10 minutes went. The entire game was played over here, and then bang, in the blink of an eye, the Vikings have tied it up.
We've been talking fighting Irish players for the last 25 minutes, and that one play, and that can change a hockey game. That changes the momentum. And now there's a little bit of leaf on that Augustana bench, and I think that's some positive things to talk about between periods.
Could have been a bleak conversation in the dressing room. Now suddenly you have to imagine all kinds of optimism.
Yeah, you win 20 minutes, you win a hockey game. I mean, this period's not over. But if they go in tied, it's like, guys, we win 20 minutes, we win a hockey game.
Oh, if they go into the locker room tied, that's going to have to feel like a win based on the way things went. Still, though, time for Notre Dame to try to counter. But once again, the puck's through center, and here comes Mobley. Up ahead for Bond on the move, and Bischel makes the save.
Great job by Bond getting that shot off. Bavaro was all over him. Maybe borderline penalty, but Bond with one hand on his stick gets the shot.
Puck's loose in the Irish end. Beg your pardon, in the Viking end. Moynihan tracks it down, off for Knuble, and Rose makes another save for the Vikings. He's kept them in a position to come back in this one and tie the score. It's now 29 saves for Rose.
Pretty impressive night for him, but off to the races. And watch Bond. One hand on his stick. He gets that shot. That's a good save. And Bavaro was there. You see him reaching around, trying to knock that puck off his stick, but with one hand on, he does get the shot off. Ryan Bischel, good left pad save.
Notre Dame had a 23-14 advantage on faceoffs before that one. Vikings win it, but give it away. Slaggert was lurking in front. Couldn't connect with it cleanly. And Augustana can get it to center. Trombley tried to send it ahead. Vachon able to lay it down low for Will Howard as the top line goes to work for the Vikings here in the final minute.
The goals energized this Augustana team. All of a sudden they found a second life.
This is no icing, so Rose has to play it. Does well to get it towards the boards.
It's a good thing you got to stick on it because Landon Slaggert was right there.
Final 20 seconds of the second. Knuble holds up. Shot doesn't get through. Recovers it. And now pivots with 10 seconds to go. Moynihan out for Sedum. Final seconds as he drives one wide. And somehow, some way, Augustana is going to walk their way back to the locker room with the score tied at 2.
Well, what had been a dominating, let's say 17 minutes by the Fighting Irish kind of turned on a dime. When they turned a puck over, couldn't really get it out of their own zone. And Augustana took advantage of it, and they're right back in this hockey game.
Be a very intriguing final 20 minutes between these two teams. During the second intermission, we'll have a chance to look at all the different sets of brothers on this Irish hockey team, and then we'll break down the pair of goals you saw in period number 2. It's the Irish and the Vikings tied at 2 in the second game of this weekend series. Final game before 2024. Owen Bond with the big delivery late to even the score. The final intermission of 2023 here in South Bend, and it's a pretty good hockey game we got on our hands. Notre Dame and Augustana tied at 2. There's been a goal for each team in each of the first 2 periods as we welcome you back inside the Compton Family Ice Arena alongside the 14-year NHL man, Steve Conroy. Tony Simeone, happy that you've joined us before you get your New Year's festivities started. Steve, I never played hockey. You played in the NHL for 14 years. I think what makes this sport so fun to watch is what we just saw in the second period. Notre Dame, I thought, for 17 minutes, as you said, dominated play. Somehow, this game is tied after 2, though, because that's the way the sport works.
The hockey gods, like in life, aren't always fair. And even though you dominate and you should be up 4, maybe 5-1, we've got a tie hockey game. But that's the beauty of this sport. You don't necessarily have to be the best team to win at times. And right now, Notre Dame's the best team, but we're a tie hockey game.
Yeah, who knew you're going to get some life lessons from us here before you get your New Year's resolution started. Life is not fair. That second period wasn't fair to Notre Dame, but they did score early, and I think the encouraging sign for them is the defensemen, the young defensemen, have gotten the goals tonight.
Yeah, they've really been getting involved in the hockey game. And shout out to Brock Shahan, the defensive coach for the Fighting Irish. Done a real good job with these youngsters. That was Paul Fisher who started the play with a nice pass. He ends it with a great shot. And I like the thought process here. Head up, settle the puck, pick my spot, and hit it. And that's exactly what he does. A perfectly placed shot just inside the post. That beats Rose to give them the 2-1 lead. And then a little later on, Irish dodge a bullet. Partial breakaway here. Meerman puts it between the legs and just goes wide. He actually beats the goaltender Bischel, but he puts it wide of the net. But then later on, late in that period, great pass from Rudrud. That's Bond, who's wide open on the far side. He's got an open net. He doesn't make any mistake about it, puts it in, and that tied the game late at 2.
Owen Bond only had 1 point in his last 9 games. He shows up tonight with a big goal. You look at the stat sheet, it's going to tell you that Notre Dame has really dominated play the way they did last night, but they find themselves in a tie score. Last night we saw this game 2-1 headed to the third, and the Irish got 3 third-period goals. So I'll ask you, what's the key for Augustana to have a better third period and possibly come out of here with a tie or a win?
Well, they've got to break up plays before they get inside their own zone. They have not done a real good job protecting their blue line. If they can stop that Fighting Irish offense before they attack the blue line, get it going the other direction, they might have a chance.
We'll see what the third period has in store. If it's anything like the second, it'll be unpredictable as we wrap up the 2023 portion of the college hockey season.
My New Year's resolution this year is to try to cut back on the late night eats. Probably try to eat a little better, cut out the candy and the desserts.
My New Year's resolution is to get off my phone and get outside a little bit more.
My New Year's resolution is to only eat ice cream twice a week.
My New Year's resolution is to use my phone less and try to stay off social media.
So Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Irish fans.
A happy New Year from them to you, from us to you. Those are some great resolutions. Cole Knuble needs to dial the ice cream back to just twice a week to be young again. My gosh, if I could survive twice a week, I'd be living right. Steve, New Year's resolutions for you?
Yeah, I'm going to try and read a book a month, Tony.
Okay.
I don't read enough. I'm on my phone too much, I think. So if I read a book a month, I'll be happy. How about you?
I am going to try to get off the phone. As you heard from those guys, we all got to get off the phone, clearly, and we're all aware enough to do so. We just choose not to. Maybe learn how to change a diaper. I'm going to try to learn how to do that.
Hey, yeah. Well, it's official now, I guess, right?
Yes.
Everyone can know?
Yes.
So you and your lovely wife, Callie, expecting a newborn.
Sure.
What month?
June.
Okay.
Right in the sports off season. There we go. Yeah, we're very excited. I'm going to lean on you. You and Julie have 5, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you'll be getting lots of late night texts or, hey, what's going on? The baby won't go to sleep. I don't know how to handle all this stuff. Glad to have you in my corner as well as many others.
Yeah.
Both our parents will be able to help out, so it should be fun.
You know, my motto is kids can take care of themselves. So, yeah, just feed them, change them, and leave the rest up to life.
I like that. I'm going to take that home and see how that goes for my New Year's resolution going into 2024.
Well, the worst thing you can be is a helicopter parent, and that is like the one that hovers over them all the time. Watch this.
Here's Pluzinski looking to uneven the score, and he shoots just wide.
Well, good start for the Fighting Irish. I'm sure they're upset with the way that period ended. And they've had a pretty good start here to the third.
There was a lot going on in that second period. A lot of good for Notre Dame.
Oh, look at this bounce.
Wow, as Bischel does handle one well. We talked a lot last night about Caden Hargraves in net. Zach Rose tonight has 29 saves through 2 periods of play. He's been really good. He sees one flutter over the crossbar here. And he had a career at Bowling Green where he was really good, 6th all-time in goals allowed for them. It hasn't really gone the way he intended, probably coming to Augustana with the goals allowed at 3.3, save percentage just above 90, but he's back in net tonight, Steve, making a really strong case, I think, to get more starts as the season goes along.
Look at the eyes. I mean, wide open. He is focused. He is laser in focused. Not many guys out of Paradise, Newfoundland make it to NCAA hockey. He has. And you're right. It's anyone's net right now in Augustana. And they've got 3 capable goaltenders. But if somebody can get on a bit of a run, it would be their net.
There's Paul Fisher, scored his 2nd career goal earlier today. Stark just blocked a shot from Fisher. Now Trevor Janicki tracks it down. Had a pair of goals last night. And Silanoff backhands it towards Rose. He fights it off. Puck trickles out and is swept to center, where Meerman is able to glove it down. Now he's on the move, working in on Bischel, who makes the first save. Second one trickles towards the line, and it's kept out. Fisher somehow sweeps it out of the crease.
Mobley thought that was in. He looked right at the ref. The ref was emphatic that it did not cross the goal line, and he probably had the best angle of anybody.
Well, keep an eye on that. They might go look at that at the next whistle. Looked like the Vikings were destined to possibly take the 3-2 lead, but Fisher, I think it was Fisher on the doorstep with his backhand, did just enough.
And was it Meerman who shot that? I think it might have been Meerman.
There was a loose puck, all kinds of chaos. Our crew's going to help us out right here, I'll tell you that.
And again, Notre Dame kind of dominating down to the other end. Yeah, it's Meerman heading in, the shot. Oh, it's the follow-up by Mobley. And Mobley, see him point, he thought it'd cross the line. So Meerman with the original shot. Great save there by Bischel. And then Mobley, oh, and you're right. Great eye-hand coordination from Paul Fisher.
They're looking at it right now, Steve, and they're probably looking at this angle right here.
Yeah, this will tell you. And he stopped it.
Oh.
It has to totally cross the goal line. It might have just touched the red paint, but Paul Fisher's done it all tonight.
Now, if you see right here, yeah, if you go frame by frame right, there. Yeah, there's not enough to show that it's in.
No.
Wow.
So he's had a goal tonight, and he's stopped a sure goal tonight. Well, Paul Fisher doing it all. I don't know if you remember the World Junior Championships last year. In overtime, Mason McTavish did the exact same thing, saving a goal for Team Canada, and they eventually ended up winning the game. So remember that play by Fisher.
You've seen it all tonight. You've seen how momentum can spin on a dime in this game, and then how it really is a game of mere inches. I mean, one more inch, one more rotation of the puck.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a 3-2 lead for the Vikings. Paul Fisher, the difference maker so far tonight for Notre Dame. Puck comes through center. Strand bats it down with his stick. They say it was a legal play, so they'll continue to move. Bond has the game-tying goal right now. Takes it into the offensive end. Drops it off, looking for Nemovsky. Strand cut it off. Now it's up ahead through center ice. There's Shea Donovan. Long pass ahead for Rudrud. Chips it in deep for Simon Falk. This feed comes towards the middle. Rudrud's shot deflected wide. Ryan Seedham, fortunately for Notre Dame, was the first one to get there. Carter Slaggert tried to tip one ahead for Tyler Carpenter. Donovan was able to take it. Carpenter, though, checks him off the puck. Out for Pluzinski. He'll shoot. Doesn't get through. Chipped out for Rudrud again, who intercepts at the line and takes it back. Then he whiffs on his pass, and the puck is chipped into the Irish bench.
Rudrud's been all over the ice in both of these hockey games,
yeah.
And that time just couldn't quite get that puck across ice. It ends up in the player's box. Ryan Seedham with some good defending there. We've seen that all year from Ryan Seedham. He's also chipping in offensively.
He's third on the team in points with 12, second on the team in blocks with 30. That's probably what you're looking for from a graduate transfer defenseman. Oh, quick wrister over the bar.
Not many face-off wins for Augustana, but that was a key one in the offensive zone.
Trombley has the goal tonight, but otherwise, Steve, this top line of Trombley, Vachon, and Will Howard have been relatively quiet on the weekend for the Vikings. Kind of thought we'd see maybe a little bit more pop from them. It'd be a great time for them to break through here in the third.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, their acting head coach Taylor Nelson said that that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to score because they know they don't have any true superstars. They have to do it by committee. You never know which line it might be, and what better time than that led by Vachon, their captain, to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, Arnaud Vachon centers the line. He's got 3 goals coming in, and then Trombley recorded his second of the night. They're still waiting for Howard to get on the board for the first time. As Slaggert drops it off for Knuble. His backhand didn't get through. Good work by Ziemer to break it up. Now Bavaro's shot may have hit Slaggert in the slot.
It's the second shot from his own player that Slaggert has absorbed. Now, when you try to screen a goalie, that'll happen. But that one hit him right in the midsection.
Slaggert looks fine. He's got the puck right now. Irish captain was looking for Bavaro. It hit Moynihan. Comes out to center. This is chipped into the corner. Notre Dame's changing, and so Augustana will do the same. Michel Mastrodomenico scored his first career goal earlier today. Sends it ahead. Janicki beats an icing call. Around for Fleming, then all the way back the other way. Then Mastrodomenico's chip attempt goes out of play. This is an interesting number, Steve. We pointed it out last night. Not just goals, but any game in which Landon Slaggert has recorded a point this year. Notre Dame has not won a game without him getting on the score sheet, and to this point in the contest, he does not have one.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that Landon Slaggert gets something between now and the end of this period if you're a Fighting Irish fan.
You see how good they are when he does score, but I get the sense, you would know better than me, but if you ask a coaching staff, I don't think anybody wants to be that reliant on one person getting on the score sheet.
No, you certainly don't. You know, the fact that coming into this series, he'd scored 25% of the goals the Irish had scored, 12 of the 47.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you a lot right there.
He came in the top 10 in the country in goals. Nation's lead is at 15 right now, so he's 3 back of that. As Janicki is late to get up. Rudrud's on the move, shoots wide. He's played a really nice second and third period as the shot goes out of play. Just talking about the Nation's lead in goals. Obviously Landon Slaggert, captain, 4th-year player here. You see, we saw Cutter Gauthier with Boston College earlier this season. Jack Devine at Denver is the guy leading the way, but he's tops amongst Big Ten players.
That's right. Currently tied for 6th in scoring.
Yeah.
Not too bad. And Rudrud, I agree. He's been noticeable. Big body out there at 6'3".
Here's Nemovsky, drops it out for Mobley. His shot goes over the bar. They shuffle the line. Mobley and Nemovsky played together last night. They split them up tonight, but now they're back together here for the 3rd period. Nemovsky again playing in his 150th career game after 4 years at Niagara. Tyler Carpenter gets it in deep as Rose plays it behind his net. What a bounce back game this could be for the Vikings tonight after losing 5-1 in game 1. They've only been a Division I hockey program since October. And they're looking for their first win against a Big Ten team as Landon Slaggert works into the slot. They were shut out twice against Wisconsin to start the year. Lost last night. Got the score tied here in the second. Cole Knuble had a hat trick last night. Drops it off for Bavaro. Across for Fisher with his head up. Takes it down low. Now pivots out towards the blue line. Drops for Bavaro. Now Slaggert. Extra feed. Moynihan. Wide angle, and Rose was quick to get across to make the save. Trombley able to skate it through center and send it in deep. A lot of bodies in the corner. It's Fisher that comes away with it. Long pass ahead for Silanoff. Maybe too much speed on it. Oh, it's played off the end boards, and Silanoff whacks a shot off of Rose's pads.
It was Cole Knuble with the hot pass, and Silanoff just skated into it.
Jake Boltman's shot deflects wide. Now Silanoff is tied up behind the play with Donovan. Puck goes all the way into the Irish end for Bischel. That's what everyone's ranting and raving about here in the Compton Family Ice Arena. This is going to be too strong for icing and bring the puck back into the Viking zone.
Well, the fans here know their hockey, and now the Boo Birds are out. Donovan really giving Silanoff a rough going over. A little earlier, though, it was a hot pass from Cole Knuble that was just outside of the reach. There you see Silanoff arguing his case. Ended up with his helmet getting partially knocked off. Here's the hot pass. Silanoff skates into it, and yeah, the one-timer off the end boards. That's a good stop by Rose. He and Donovan had been battling that whole shift, so they ended up battling a little later on. That's when his helmet came off. Not done up yet. There you go. We're telling him, do your lid up, and he does, and they're good to go.
.5 minutes left in the 3rd period. Augustana scored the first goal. The Irish scored the next 2 as Mastrodomenico and this time Mobley are tied up in the corner. This game's getting physical late.
The referee's letting him play, though. Let it go.
Here's Brennan Ali. Jams on the brakes, backhands it for Jake Boltman, who takes a spill. Missed on a backhanded shot. And the Vikings clear out of harm's way.
Good decision there by Boltman to jump in on the play, and Ali, really nice dish. Stopped just inside the blue line, the backhand feed, and Boltman couldn't quite finish.
Landon Slaggert, he takes a shot as he crosses the blue line. Vikings playing with loads more confidence since they tied the score. They were on their heels the entire second period. Got a late goal to even it, and since then, it's been a pretty fair fight. Now Brand has the puck moving in after a giveaway. It's loose, comes out for a shot from Svendahl, and Bischel did just enough with his glove to fight it off.
Yeah, he fought that off. That might have knuckled on him a little bit, but he just punched up the catching glove and knocked it out of the way.
Good work from this 4th line of the Vikings. Chase Brand, Simon Falk, and They had Rudrud listed as the
there's a penalty.
fourth forward. Yeah, he's been mixed up. He gets on the ice here, and right on cue, Rudrud draws a penalty and a power play coming for the Vikings.
A little bit of momentum here for the Vikings. And Pluzinski gets his stick out between the legs of Rudrud.
Notre Dame penalty number 26, 2 minutes tripping.
26 on 26. Pluzinski. I take that back. That wasn't Rudrud. That was. Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Rudrud.
yeah.
Take that back. It is Rudrud. 26 on 21. And Zach Pluzinski in the penalty box. So a huge kill here for the Fighting Irish.
Another power play for the Vikings. They're 0 for 3 tonight. Quite frankly, they have not been good 5 on 4. Notre Dame's had some of the better chances shorthanded, but they win an important faceoff. Can go to work. Friesen uncorks a huge one-timer that ricochets all the way out to center ice.
I think over the last 20 minutes, I've counted 6 shots blasted over top of the crossbar by Augustana. Now, they're all trying to go high. Maybe they've got a book on Ryan Bischel we're unaware of, but everyone's trying to go high on Ryan Bischel.
Friesen, that time, was the one trying to let it fly. Notre Dame's got the puck now. Janicki's going to skate it out of his own end. They've had opportunities shorthanded. Janicki! Oh, his stick. Did it catch McIntyre? He looks okay. Janicki still has it, and he carries back into his own end to kill some time.
Well, the stick and the puck, because McIntyre blocked that shot. That's a big-time move by Trevor Janicki. Brought it into the middle, released it, and right off the ankle of McIntyre. And, you know, hockey skates, not a lot of padding in your ankle area.
Some of the best scoring opportunities tonight for Notre Dame have come shorthanded. As Hayden Hennon looks for a way out to set up the power play for the Vikings. He's going to carry it himself. There's a collision at the line. Slaggert went down. Vachon gets the shot on Bischel. He makes the save, and Sedum's able to clear.
Well, the Fighting Irish bench up in arms. They thought that was a pick. Kind of interference at the blue line. Ended up knocking down Slaggert, but they played on.
Now Vachon, the Viking captain, eludes traffic, skates into the corner. Fisher had it poked free. Trombley is after it. Now Mastrodomenico in a battle along the end boards right now as Bond comes around to sweep it towards the line. 20 seconds left on the 4th Augustana power play of the night. Arnaud Vachon for Trombley. It's into his skates. Notre Dame possesses it. Justin Janicki can skate it out and kill off these final seconds in the Viking zone.
Janicki did a good job in his own zone, coming down deep to help break up that play. Just a deft little poke check. And now he's doing a super job killing another 15, 20 seconds to end this kill.
Big hit from Jaden Davis. Lays it on Rudrud. Back come the Irish the other direction. Davis in a battle with Stark. In the corner. Now Slaggert gets to it for Notre Dame. Sends it out towards the blue line. It rolls under the skates of Boltman. Bischel's going to come all the way out to play it in the corner.
It's the advantage of having a goaltender that's confident, that can play the puck. Some goalies wouldn't want to wander out to make that play, but Bischel does, and they've got control.
Both coaches have put some confidence in their fourth lines tonight in this third period. Some important shifts as Slaggert pulls and drags. Slaggert looking back door, almost connected with Carpenter for the go-ahead goal.
Just over top of his stick.
Irish changing on the fly, but it's Mobley that comes away with it. This will let the Vikings get some new bodies on the ice as well. Settling into a bit of a chess match here with 8 minutes to go. Ali, backhanded feed. Out of the reach of Trevor Janicki. Meerman's there to take it back for the Vikings.
This is where your conditioning really gets tested. There haven't been a lot of whistles here in the third period. It's been a tough battle over the last 2 nights. Typically, the better conditioned team ends up winning.
Shots right now in favor of Notre Dame, 35-22. Here's Landon Slaggert on a stretch feed, on his way in, and Rose has the biggest save of the night.
Real good read from Rose. He knew exactly what Slaggert was doing. His blocker was there before the shot was put on net. And that breakneck speed from Landon Slaggert, maybe the fastest player in NCAA hockey. Pulls away, clear-cut breakaway, Goes to the forehand, and look at that blocker. It was waiting for that stop, for that shot, right off of the stick of Slaggert. Oh, I think it was the top of the pad, somewhere between the paddle, the blocker, and the pad. And looks like Augustana got a little bit of an extra rest there.
Yeah, Vachon came to the bench because of an equipment malfunction. He's changing his helmet. After the icing call, though, that could be a little strategic by the captain to come to the bench and say, oh, one of my chin straps doesn't work. Now Trombley's on his way. Bischel does enough with his stick to sweep it out. Notre Dame goes offside, and that'll stop play. 7 minutes left in this one. It's getting physical, and the ice is opening up. Should be a fun final 7 minutes. 7 minutes left in the hockey game. It's been a fun game, too, between Notre Dame and Augustana. Look at how the Irish have finished games this year. They're losing the first 2 periods by a 7-goal margin, but they're beating opponents by 11 in the third period, Steve. This team, you mentioned conditioning earlier. They seem to come on as the game goes deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I think that's a sign, and they do a great job here. The strength and conditioning coach and the whole coaching staff making sure these guys are at their peak levels. And yeah, the longer the game goes, it seems like the better the Irish get, and that's a pretty impressive third period number.
Yeah, Tony Rolinski, strength and conditioning coach, as you mentioned, has been here a long time, a couple of decades. See if it pays off here late in the third. Paul Fisher has one of the 2 Irish goals. Across for Strand it goes. Rose shrugs it off. Was in a dangerous area, but Callum Gow for Augustana was able to get there first and sweep it out.
Yeah, Gow, the centerman, in real good position there. Just in that dangerous prime real estate, and that big rebound ends up right on his stick, and he gets it out.
Gow only played 10 games before this weekend series. He's had a really nice game, too. Boltman walks across the line. Mastrodomenico shooting, looking for a deflection in front. It instead ricochets towards the corner, and the Vikings find a way out of their own end. This is a pivotal final 6 minutes for both teams. Going into the new year, Augustana, of course, in their first ever season as a Division I hockey team. They were 36th in the pairwise coming into tonight. The puck goes towards the bench. They want a too many men call. Notre Dame, on the other hand, they're up to 18th after the win last night in the pairwise. Massive series coming up next weekend against Wisconsin. They're desperate to take momentum into that showdown with the Badgers next week.
I thought it was real interesting when you asked head coach Jeff Jackson about scheduling Augustana. And I thought that was maybe a trick that they got away with. And he said, you know, you're just trying to help them build their program.
Yeah.
You know, give them a little bit of a reputation. And he said it's happened in the past to us. I think it helped, too, that Andy Slaggert, kind of friends with Garrett Rabowin, their head coach. And I think they kind of helped set this up also.
It's exciting how many teams have jumped into the fray. A few years back, Notre Dame scheduled Arizona State in their first year. Trying to help them get off the ground. Puck's taken away now by Ziemer. Hit the outside of the post. That was Friesen. Beg your pardon. Friesen's got the puck again. Takes a spill at center. And then play is going to stop here with 4:47 left. And the score still tied.
Well, this would certainly be the feather in the cap of the Augustana Vikings. Would they be able to finish off this game on the winning side? And you got to hand it to them. I mean, not a lot of well-known names here. And yes, we've got players who have played across NCAA hockey, whether it was Clarkson or Colgate, a host of others, Bowling Green. But, you know, no true superstars. And this would be something to really upset a Notre Dame team on their home ice.
Now, this would arguably be their most impressive win to date. They have the win over Colorado College. They have the tie against #2 Denver at the time. That's certainly in the running for their best performance. But to come into Compton Family Ice Arena and get a true regulation win would be big. Irish, though, still have time to win themselves. Puck is loose at the top of the paint, and it goes towards the corner. Both teams have their top lines out. As Fisher shoots, doesn't get through. Slaggert, though, caught the rebound and shot it wide. Oh, good check by Vachon. Chips it off the wall and out to center.
Real good play by Vachon. And Moynihan pretty strong on the puck too, but he took him away from it.
Brendan Ali gets his own rebound into the paint. Rebound for Knuble, who shoots, and Rose once again makes a save.
It's a tough stop off a turnaround wrist shot from Knuble. Just punched it out with a blocker.
Pluzinski out for Sedum. Irish have the pressure on. Janicki shoots, and again may have gotten a piece of Rose. It hits something in front and ultimately goes out of play.
Yeah, that just hit his stick. I don't think he realized it because he didn't see the shot, but earlier Cole Knuble, who's had a real strong weekend here, watch him, the turnaround wrist shot. Well, maybe goes off the post too. And then a stop earlier. Oh, good clearing attempt there by McIntyre, who's had his fingerprints all over this hockey game.
Yeah, you're right. McIntyre's broken up a couple of really good chances for Notre Dame tonight. Vikings can't get it out. Donovan lays a hit on Ali in the corner. Less than 3.5 to go. It's out towards the line. Sedum holds it in for Notre Dame. Now a stretch ahead for Rudrud. He'll gain the offensive end. Rudrud fans on the shot, tries to get it back, and it's taken away by Pluzinski.
Real good defensive play by Pluzinski. Made sure that Rudrud didn't get the shot and then stole the puck and got it out.
No goals so far here in the third. Plenty of entertaining action, though. Still time for someone to find a regulation win. Chase Brand had it for a moment, came out towards the blue line, swept back in, now carried out by Sedum. He does gain center. Notre Dame can change behind the play. Augustana will take the opportunity as well. Hutchinson couldn't get it deep. It actually hit Namovsky. So Notre Dame can recover the puck. Now Zemer at his center line sends it in. Whoa, funny hop off of maybe Mastrodomenico's stick towards Bischel.
Especially late in a hockey game, Tony, you know, the ice is chopped up. You get a bouncing puck. It can take some crazy caroms. A real good job there by Bischel to field that.
Here's Strand speeding into the offensive end. Now Fleming back down low for Hunter Strand. Pulls, holds, shoots, and he didn't miss by much.
What a weekend it's been for Hunter Strand. You know, he had 2 goals in his previous 4 games. He's got an assist tonight. He had a couple of assists last night. He's been really noticeable in this 2-game weekend series.
Can anybody find a winner here in the final 100 seconds? Doesn't seem like these teams are content with a tie. I want to try to win this thing in 60 minutes. Vachon almost lost it through center. Now the captain gets it back, sends it for Trombley. Broken up by Fisher. Trombley will cycle it down for Vachon. He couldn't control it, so the Irish captain, Landon Slaggert, takes it away. Paul Fisher has his feet intercepted by Vachon at center ice. He'll shoot towards Bischel. He escorts it towards the corner. Puck is up against the wall in front of the Irish bench with 1 minute to go. Bavaro drives it around. Donovan can't clear. Callum Gow will. Janicki chips it ahead. It's taken by Anthony Stark. He'll carry from behind his own net. Whiffed on a pass. Now does send it off the stick of Falk. Goes in deep. Pluzinski battling with Brand. Lost it. Taken away. Here's Falk, who had an opportunity, but the puck hopped in the air. Now Janicki has it. One last rush for the Irish. Trevor Janicki holds, waiting, drops it off. Pluzinski's shot ricochets wide. 7 seconds to play. It's out towards the line, comes out to the neutral zone. Justin Janicki will drive it, and that ends regulation.
An entertaining third period. Both teams desperately wanted this win, but it ends in a tie.
Overtime when we come back between Notre Dame and Augustana. 60 minutes, not enough to find a winner in this one. Tony Simeone with Steve Conroy. Here's how we got here, Steve. Augustana struck first.
Yeah, Ben Tremblay just following up a rebound attempt, and later in that first period, Michel Mastrodomenico, his first ever college goal, that tied it at 1. And then it was the Irish, another defenseman, Paul Fisher, scoring to give him a 2-1 lead, but it gets tied late by Bond. And then in this third period, what an unbelievable stop by Paul Fisher, one of the goal scorers in this game, staves one for his own team, and down the other end, Landon Slaggert, that breakaway speed. Good stop by Zach Rosette, a fantastic game. And then later in this third period, Cole Knuble with a chance, off the blocker, off the post. And it ends tied at 2, and we go to overtime.
So here's how the overtime works. Sudden victory, 3-on-3. You do get more credit for an overtime win than if this game ends tied after the 3-on-3. They'd play a shootout. You don't get as much credit there. You want to win in regulation if you can. If you can't win in regulation, you want to win in overtime. So we'll see how this one goes in the books. The officials were in the box reviewing something during that last break. I did not hear an announcement, did you?
I did not. Not too sure what it would have been.
They're talking to Vachon.
Yeah. Oh, here
Notre
we'll
Dame's challenge is successful. Major penalty on number 27. 5-minute major in the game for head contact.
Whoa. They never announced this review.
No, they did not.
That would have gone against Chase Brand. Now here's the question I have, Steve. If they identified a major penalty in regulation,
doesn't it have to go back to that time?
They could possibly
go back.
I'm gonna have to pull up the rule book here. I'm not sure I've ever seen this.
So look at this. Both goaltenders now have to go back to their original nets because they're telling Ryan Bischel to hit back to the other end. And
I've never seen this. They reviewed it once they got into the break. Yeah, they put the clock at 17.1 seconds. And it's
Here's Brand on Silanoff.
Oh.
Yeah, makes contact with the head. A huge hit, but his head was targeted. That's a 5-minute major. So, the most important part is this face-off. This next 17 seconds. If the Irish can win it in regulation, as you mentioned, they pick up the extra points. And again, we're going to look at this.
Well, how about this too, Steve? If it does go to overtime, they'd carry over. They'd have 4-on-3 to start overtime as well.
Yes.
So it's an extremely costly penalty. The officials are all huddled together right now at center ice, trying to get this right. They've already put 17.1 back on the clock here at the Compton Family Ice Arena.
I don't think I've ever seen this, Tony. I don't know if you've ever been a part of a game like this.
I have not.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to wait until the next whistle to challenge anything, whether it be a goal review. How about the Notre Dame staff being on top of that?
Yeah.
To go down and use their challenge for that.
Paul Pooley, Andy Slaggert, who's upstairs, Brock Shahan, Jeff Jackson. So it's a 5-minute major, contact to the head on Brand.
Yeah.
Now, their face-off is coming to center ice.
I think it's going to have to be in the offensive zone for Notre Dame if it's a penalty, right? That was a great thing you noted too, that they had to switch sides, and then also
now they're telling them to switch again. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Now they're taking the 17 seconds off the board. They're putting up 5 minutes.
Well, they just announced in the building they would put 17 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a rule book here.
I've got the rule book. I don't see anything about.
Because you think they'd be able to go back to when that infraction happened, put that time on the clock. And obviously the Irish would love to have won this in regulation. But now they're forcing overtime.
Yeah. So now it's a 4-on-3 for the entirety of overtime because it's a 5-minute major. Well, something got mixed up in the communication there along the way, because they announced in the building it'd be 17.1. Instead, we now have overtime. Or do we?
Correction of the time of the Augustana penalty. The major occurred at the end of the third period. So we will play 4
So they're saying the major occurred at the end of the period, so.
Mass confusion. Let's see if Notre Dame can find the winner. Sedum's got it. Here's the one-timer, and Cole Knuble caps off his weekend with a game-winning goal.
Well, who else but Cole Knuble, who had 1 goal through his first 18 games, has now scored 4 in his last 2 games. And that one may be the biggest, the game winner in overtime. What a rocket. Nice setup, a little catch between Sedum and Knuble, and he beats Rose cleanly. Rose had a good look at it. Moving a little bit from his left to his right, but that laser beam just inside the right post as we look at it. And Sedum with a perfect pass, just put it into the wheelhouse. Knuble finishes it off.
What a weekend for Cole Knuble. Hat trick last night, game winner tonight. I'm pretty sure that goes down as an overtime game winner. There was confusion on the ice in the arena, but in the end, Notre Dame ends with more goals than Augustana, and they'll take plenty of momentum into next week's series against Wisconsin. Steve, we got a very entertaining game 2 to wrap up 2023.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, credit to Augustana. Even game 1, they were in it up until about the 10-minute point of the 3rd period. And this one, in it all the way. And congratulations to that man, the acting head coach, Taylor Nelson. Chad Demers, the assistant coach. Augustana did themselves proud.
That's going to do it for us this weekend and in 2023. Steve, Happy New Year. Enjoy it with your family.
All the best to you and yours too, Tony.
That does it for us this weekend. For Steve Conroy, Derek Coleman, Doug Thompson, and the rest of the outstanding team here in South Bend. We'll see you next weekend for a showdown between Notre Dame and Wisconsin.